I think we have just about everyone. Just want to welcome you all for joining us today. My name's Andrea. I handle the marketing here at ANP, and really excited to have you all here to talk about our new ANP online video training program. And I'm going to pass it over to Dave to get started.
Hey, Andrea, thanks a lot. Hey, really want to welcome all our clients and potential future prospects to our webinar today on our on-demand online video training. And hopefully you get a kick out of this. Andrea just threw this together so that we could do this. We normally on this Wednesday, we had planned to do an Azure webinar, and really by popular demand, this came up. And so we'll get back to that Azure webinar if you were expecting to see that today. Today, you're going to learn about online demand video training. So this is really about empowering your end users, and we've been able to test this in a pilot program, and we were shocked at how effective it was, and really thought it was important to make this available to all our customers. Today, we're going to go through really all the T's and C's of how this thing works so that you can introduce it maybe at a company meeting to all your employees. Here's what we've been hearing from you. For the last year and a half, we've been deploying for all our clients Teams. And once we deploy Teams, we turn on Exchange Online, we turn on SharePoint and OneDrive. And as we turn more and more applications on that are in the Microsoft 365 suite, we hear over and over that our clients really need training help. And we've actually created some of our own training content and begun to sell that to clients. But we thought it would be more appropriate if we created an online on-demand series of videos that would really help you and your teammates learn how to use all this software. And there's a ton of software. And if you learn how to use it, it's going to make you a lot more productive. We also heard from everyone that there are some employees that only need to know about Exchange Online. They might be out in the field, they never come in the office, they're not using SharePoint, they're not using Excel. And so having the ability when we create the training portal is to just turn on what's necessary for an employee, that you guys want that. And you also want specialized content, and ANP, we've actually created some specialized content for new customers on how do you create a ticket, how do you go out following up and watching how your ticket's progressing, and then finally putting this all together in a way that really makes sense for everyone's own personal dashboard. And as we started to hear about these questions, we started to scratch our head on how can we best solve the problem here. And so we've created really a task-based training video portal with literally 6,000 2 to 3 minute videos on virtually any topic you might imagine has to do with 365. And we can tailor all the learning by employee. So if you have a group of employees that are out in the manufacturing floor, they might only need a certain set of videos available to them. Or like I said, if you have a lot of people on a fleet that are driving around or salespeople driving around, they might have another tailored set of videos that they'd want to take a look at. But what's really cool here is that this is all streamable from any device, anywhere, at any time. So it's really effective. These training videos can be viewed virtually on any device, and I even and I'd like to consider myself pretty well versed in Teams and SharePoint and Teams calling. And as I watch some of the content we've created here, I'm learning things. So if you take the time to set your employees loose, I guarantee you they're going to figure out and learn new things that they never knew before. And all of this is searchable. You can type in a keyword on a particular thing you're struggling with, and then get the videos that would be appropriate for that topic. So this is definitely a modern approach to learning. Instead of being in a classroom for 4 hours, you might walk away with a couple tidbits of knowledge. But because this is on demand and always available, you don't have to necessarily learn it. You just need your employees to know where to go and how to search to find out what they need to do. And we're seeing that this is really making a difference. And it's easy to access. I'm going to show you in a demo here in a second how easy it is to get to these videos. And it's really designed with your users in mind. One of our clients said, we've had great success increasing Microsoft 365 usage adoption thanks to ANP's on-demand task-based training video. And since the ANP videos are available inside Teams, that's helped us drive our Teams adoption. And Binary Tree was one of our piloting customers that we tested this out with. And so we really got some great feedback from the people that tried this at first. And there were a lot of training pilot takeaways. We saw a 62% reduction in employee time on how to do things. And a 58% of all the piloted people said that the training videos were going to help them save an hour a week. And here's some other things we learned. That once we turned on training videos, our help desk requests from that customer, they dropped down. 70% of the people that we had piloted said it was improving how 365 works and their understanding of it. And we saw, when this was really interesting, once we turned this on, we saw every customer that turned on training, their employees started to use Teams as an application much more than they were before. And in one case, 6 times more usage in Teams after we turned on the training. And we also saw not only that help desk requests were going down, but also the time it took to close tickets was also going down. So all of these things benefit your employees and help improve productivity. I'm gonna switch up here now, and I'm gonna leave PowerPoint for a second and hop over to the actual portal.
Greetings, and welcome to the e-training library. Administrators are taken directly into the admin dashboard. Here, you'll receive a snapshot view of the activity in your portal. Reporting is provided on user login frequency and lessons viewed. Stats are provided for your user count and the time savings they've generated with training. The ROI widget gives administrators a visual representation of the value the platform is providing their team as well. You'll also notice lists of your top learners and gamification details. We'll touch on that in more detail in a moment. All of the detail displayed on the admin dashboard can be reviewed further with our reporting features. Let's talk for a moment about the end user experience. When a user logs in, they're taken straight away to the course library. Here they have all the training accessible to them at their fingertips. You'll notice the page is colorful and friendly in design. This is done purposefully. It's to encourage the end user to feel confident in navigating and learning here. Many e-learning platforms or learning management systems are designed with the tech person in mind. They can be hard to navigate, mostly filled with black and white text or irrelevant, out-of-date courseware. Here, we focus on ensuring the end user is capable and comfortable finding the answers they need to be successful with software. It's simple and attractive, which creates an inviting look and feel. Now that the user is ready to learn, they can choose their channel. Here they'll see the courses and subjects available. By clicking on the course they wish, they'll be brought to the course page, a table of contents for the lessons. Lessons average between 3 to 5 minutes in length. The lessons are task-based. They're to the point, so knowledge is delivered quickly. A user can spend a longer training session by going through the course or playing a full section at a time, or, after their initial training, quickly find the answer they need by watching a short lesson. This is the beauty of on-demand e-learning content. It becomes more than initial training. It's an expert by your side, always available when you need an answer. Learn what you need, when you need it, and implement the new knowledge immediately. Some features of the course page includes lesson notes. This is a quick synopsis of what will be taught, and it helps in identifying the right lesson at the right time. There are quizzes and exams. Quizzes are shorter tests designed just for the user, and if you get an answer wrong, they'll point you to the relevant lesson to review. Exams provide a certificate of completion after successfully passing the test, and this can be saved and shared. There are starter guides. These are 2-page guides with a host of great information and detail to have at your disposal. And finally, lesson sharing. You have the ability to share a lesson with a colleague or friend. By clicking Share, a 7-day accessible link is generated. The user does not have to have a login to view the lesson. Simply share the link and let them benefit from the information. Jumping over to My Training, here a user can stay on top of their learning activity. Similar to Stats Accessible to the Administrator, this is where persons can see what their personal account is doing. They'll see the courses they're active in and the assignments they've been given. One other feature you'll notice is the achievements. This is the gamification that's built into the platform. As users watch lessons, take quizzes, and pass exams, they're awarded points towards achievements. They'll receive digital medals or digi-medals and badges for courses they complete and other collective activity. As the users improve their skills, they'll progress through the rankings from a competitor to a professional to an expert to a master, all the way up to the guru status. Gamification motivates your team to be proactive learners, making the most of the resource you've provided and helping them increase their productivity every day. Be sure to watch the help lessons available for a more in-depth look at some of these features we've shown you today. Now you have the power of on-demand knowledge to achieve software success.
Okay, that gives you kind of a sense of what one of these videos looks like. I'm going to hop back over into our PowerPoint deck here. All right, Andrea, can you see the slide?
Yeah. Yeah, we're good, Dave.
All right, thank you. All right, so the first time when your employee logs into our training library, they do have to use their Microsoft 365 credentials, which I've shown here. So they'll get this screen once. Once they log in, they won't be challenged in the future for this. So we've already deployed your Microsoft 365 video portal, and at this point, it's really kind of a self-service kind of approach. So that's really it in a nutshell. It's pretty simple. I'm going to pass it back, and Andrea, have we received any questions yet? And Andrea, you're muted.
Thanks, Dave. So one question from Siri is that she's been asked to log in every time that she's accessing the training tab, not just once. So is that something that can be resolved, or what's going on?
You have to, there should be a, so if you go to the Teams button in Teams, you'll get a login button every time. When you click that, it will ask you to log in. And if you go to anp.cliptraining.com, you'll have to click the button every time. The Clip Training app doesn't support single sign-on through Teams yet. It's a limitation on Microsoft's side. So eventually it'll go away where you don't have the double hit. But right now you just have to click the button, and you should either just have to put your credentials in, or it will just pass your credentials through already. And but you do have to click the button each time.
Great. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Siri. So that's the only question I have in here, but I do want to just, pose the question about how much is this going to cost for our clients, Dave?
For all our clients that have bought Secure Cloud Advantage, our Microsoft 365 managed service, Andrea, we're including it in the managed service, so it's free.
Awesome. Okay, great. And again, if they can't access it via the Teams application, they can go on the web.
That's right. Hey, Matt, what is the URL again if it's not posted? Maybe they don't have Teams deployed yet, but they'd still like access, share it with all their employees.
Yes, I just posted it to the chat. It's just ANP, alphanancypeter.cliptraining.com. And when you go there, you'll see like a little orange button that says Login with Microsoft 365, if I'm remembering the button verbatim, or Microsoft 365 Login. You click on that and it should ask you for your 365 credentials, and then you should be able to log in with your 365 credentials. And if you, depending where you're at in our 365 project stack, it may just drop you right in. You don't have to put anything in if SSO is working. Another question I have gotten from a couple different clients, and I'll just mention it here, is that, if the training could be like an 8-hour training course for Teams Essentials, and maybe you only want 3 or 4 different things to be covered. If you wanted to create like a custom learning plan and pick the modules that you wanted to expose your clients to, we can do that. You would just have to create a ticket and say, I want these 10 lessons to be included in a learning, and then we'll assign that out to your staff. And then one of the benefits is we can make it so when the training, when a new employee comes in, they automatically get enrolled in that training, so that you can put together your own book of like technology onboarding of lessons that matter to you. And then we can build like an onboarding employee package. And when they come in, they'll get assigned the training automatically. And you don't have to spend the time teaching them the tools as part of the new employee onboarding. Or if you do it, the amount will be diminished. And Mary,
oh, go ahead, Matt.
Mary, your question about why you don't see the button, we haven't done your Teams project yet. So anyone who hasn't had Teams implemented and we don't have the full ANP stack deployed, you would go to the website. And it would still work for you on the website. And the reason for that, not to try to be a gatekeeper or anything, is there's certain securities and things that aren't in place yet, and we don't want to have your users go to Teams unless we've done the lockdown of Teams. So we haven't deployed them to the clients who haven't done the Teams lockdown yet strategically and as like a security thing for you guys. Andrew, I cut you off though.
No, that's good questions. Are there any others? Any other questions before we wrap it up here?
Okay, if something should come up to anyone during the course of this, we've had it running for about a month with a couple people, and so ANP is getting familiar with it. Our engineers are familiar with it. We should be able to help you or tweak anything if you'd like it tweaked and customized just for your customer. And Bill Malloy is asking, Matt, how do you search the library?
So really what you would want to do is, of course, log in to by going to the website or through Teams. And then my view is a little bit different, or I would share my screen. But let me log in here and then I can kind of walk you through it. My website isn't loading, Dave, so I don't know if you can share your screen. I'm in a different view as an admin. I can't see it the same way he would.
You see it?
All right. Yeah. So click on the 3 lines there, Dave, under the ANP next to the training. Yeah, and then you should be able to click on search lessons there. I think Dave may have a reporter view, but more or less there is a search bar in the menu, and you can type in different things that matter to you, and they'll look at like the metadata and the contents of it to say like OneDrive, or you could do OneDrive sync, and then it would show you all the videos with OneDrive syncing, or OneDrive shortcut.
Matt, I just typed in the word password, and you can see all of the password-oriented lessons that have come up here. So again, coming over to the 3 bars, here's search, and I'll type in the word sync. And then here is everything coming back related to the word sync.
Yeah.
So Bill, hopefully that helps. The default view when you come in, it says course library, which is this view.
I'm just trying to see some of the other questions here, but that's pretty much how you search. It is pretty robust, and if you ever I need to figure out how to do something, you can always open a ticket and just say, hey, I want to learn how to do this in clip training. I can't find it. Is there a video? And if there isn't one, we have a pretty good relationship with the people at clip training, and we could always reach out and ask them to make one, or let you know when it's going to be coming.
Can we reiterate for the group here about how they know if they have if they have access to this training or not?
So also all ANP server desktop or like secure turnkey IT clients or IT assist clients would have it. So if you fall under one of those umbrellas, it's set up for you. If you have no 365 at all, which isn't a ton of our clients, but there's one or two of them out there. I would have to just create you manual logins. The login with 365 button's not going to work if you don't have it. If you have any issues at all, you can just reach out to me or Andrea. And if for some reason you're not able to get in and you think you should, or you're wondering if you should and you don't, just send us an email and we'll get it sorted out for you. Another good part of this is like we can assign out training, and then there's also reporting on it. So a lot of you guys are doing like our security awareness training, and we tell you who the clickers are and who's watched the trainings and who hasn't. We can do the same thing with this clip training. So we can assign out that onboarding curriculum and tell you who's taken it. So if you're doing a big project with us, like a SharePoint project or a OneDrive project, you can enforce training before the go live date. And like Mary, you said you would definitely use this with your users. And I think that would be like a perfect example of, when we're doing some of your projects, we can assign this out. And then you get, a report saying these people have taken it, these people haven't. And the benefit to you is obviously it will be a smoother cutover, but not everyone's going to take the training, even if you assign it and remind them a million times, but at least you have given them the option. And when they get upset about it, you could say, well, you didn't take the training. What do you expect? So it is a powerful tool, and we do have the ability not necessarily just to dish it out and hope people use it. We can also report on who used it, who hasn't, and send reminder emails and all those things.
Thanks, Matt. There's another good question in here about how often does Clip Training plan to add new videos? Will we have access to automatic ads of new videos?
Yeah, so I've seen 2 videos this month, 2 courses come out this month. I think it's generally about that cadence of 1 or 2 courses per month. There are some paid courses, but they're more in line with the security awareness side of things, and we're not really using Clip Training for that. Any of the 365 teams or the things inside your course library that get added to those will automatically appear. So like, for example, the Excel Pro class and the Excel Power User class was released this month or the month before. Those just automatically will appear in your tenant as they come live. I would say 99% of lessons will just automatically appear. They do have some a la carte lessons, but generally speaking, we already have those covered for you with a better option that isn't necessary to implement for you.
Great, thanks, Matt. Another thing is that this recording of this webinar will be added to the training as well. So if there's anyone in your company that wasn't able to attend today, they can go right into the training and watch this. Do we have any other questions or final comments before we wrap it up here? Thanks, Mary. That's a sweet comment. This is why I like ANP so much. Well, we like you too, so thank you. All right. Well,
go ahead,
go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say a lot of this is kind of a la carte, and like we have the tool now that you guys are aware of it. If you have any questions, just reach out to us because we can help come up with strategies to get you to be able to use it. To put together, like I said, onboarding coursework for new employees. And all these different things. But it's one of those things, if you don't use it, there's really not a lot of value in it. So you have access to it, and I would just kind of poke around with it, see how things look to you, and then bring it back to your organization and try to get some value out of it by assigning out some courses and making some lesson plans.
Yeah, and I'll just add as a user myself, I mean, there are things that I don't know, and I'll go in and search. And for me, I learn much faster and easier by doing. So this kind of tool is really helpful for someone like me, and I'm sure that there are several others out there that can relate to that. So
yeah, we have some people at ANP that are really good at Excel pivot tables. I stink at it, and I was able to go in and watch the pivot table lessons and really step by step work my way through how to create a table and then start to use it. So there's really handy stuff in here, and it's easily digestible. It's not technical. Mary Mully asked a great question. Can we make some of the training mandatory? And we can actually assign courses for your employees to take, and then you can track whether or not the employees have taken the courses. And Matt, it might be nice for over at Mary's team to do just that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we still have some questions and comments rolling in here, so we'll hang for a couple more minutes. So Suzanne wants to know, who do we reach out to customize our instance to remove things that our team really won't need?
Just a service ticket, Suzanne. I would copy myself on it, being Matt McCarthy. The problem with that is if we set your tenant to, it's a exclude these specific or include these. So if we say only include these, then there may be a delay on new content coming into your portal because someone's going to have to go in and check off the new content. But we can definitely remove it, like the Power Automate if you don't want people seeing that, for example. Get people lost in a wormhole on the company dime a little bit. So we can definitely hide things if you don't want them to. Yeah.
Matt, she was referring primarily like the old Office apps, the 2013 and 2016 collection.
Yeah. Yeah, those will be no problem to turn off.
Great questions.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, as you dig in a little bit, and if questions come up again, we welcome all of your questions. You can create a support ticket. You can email any of us on the team. Mike Silverman is a great resource as well. So, yeah, don't be shy. Reach out. We wanna make this helpful for all of you. So, yeah, I appreciate you all taking the time to join us this afternoon. And with that, keep an eye out for the training video in recording in the module. And I appreciate you all joining us today. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thanks, everybody.